just to show what kind of brother I am. I let him use my mostest favorite tool. He says other than the hot foot, he kind of likes it. I don't care.
I didn't think you did.
The portions of the frame that had the attempted repairs from the previous owner to strengthen the broken lower control arm mounts, between the fracturing and stress cracks, the bad welding, and the cutting necessary to remove them, the piece of metal that was left just wasn't really serviceable anymore. So we cut out all the metal that was in that area on both sides, then made a nice cap to put over it, welded everything up with the sheet metal that is the same thickness as what the frame was made out of. I do enjoy welding, and it's a good thing. I spent just about the whole day on this project. As you'll see, I've sped things up just to make it bearable. Here Tim is bolting the lower control arm to the front existing mount, which locates the new mounts that we received and get them everything in the right place. After careful inspection and authorization from user number 2, we decided it's a time to just jump into it and start doing. Repurposing many of the vice grip C-clamps that I had used back in the golden days when I did collision repair. I've gotten rid of very few tools over the years, so like every time I gave something away or got rid of something, I ended up needing it. So having the tools made this project not only easier, but I think outright doable. And around tacking all the corners, getting everything to put in. This piece here is the primary original mount, and then we've also purchased the reinforcing kit, which adds, I guess, side wings, I would call them, that wrap around and supports it much more thoroughly. Now working on the existing front mount, which weren't in bad shape at all. All the stress was on the rears. But this kit comes with a wing to put on the front piece. So here we're attaching it. This is the other side. Pretty much the same as the first. The damage was almost equal on both sides. Just cut out the bad, put in the good. Here I'm finished welding and burning it in final time. Checking the other side, make sure everything is all welded where it needs to be. You may have noticed my beer assistant in the background. Not a lot for two people to do. It's hard for me to weld and keep track of the sparks, but he was a lot of help when needed. This is a rear differential carrier support brackets. They also, one side was fractured pretty severely, so we replaced the pin and the bracket and also the reinforcement kit for it. This should eliminate any problems in this area. Here I'm welding in the pin from the top. The pin being probably a 5/8 diameter pin is way too thick to accept a weld at the setting that wouldn't burn through the thin portion of the frame. So I preheated it, got everything nice and hot, and then burned in the pin into the location. Once the pin's put in, then there's a plate that we put over the pin area. It spreads out the load, makes things much stronger. Here the process is pretty much the same. Lay it on, clamp it up, give it a tack, and go after it. Just welding the center support pin to the reinforcing bracket and then burning the bracket in. The side reinforcing plates on the pins on the bottom of the frame were very difficult to fit. The very tight quarters, the plate's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and the sheet metal it welds to is quite a bit thinner. And the access was very limited. After 12 years, my welding torch had failed, so I bought a new one. Well, the new one's, I think, better quality. It was slightly larger and wouldn't fit into the spaces as well as the smaller one did. But I was able to manage to get in there good enough, reached in and got all the nooks and crannies welded up nice and pretty. It is definitely much stronger than the original. Got the little finish work done. Getting ready to epoxy prime. Did a small amount of pretty up body work here and there. Big thing we were looking for is to get all the structures nice and strong. Well, this is the final product. There are the top reinforcements put in to help prevent all the cracking that I welded up before. A couple of spots that were put. Here we've replaced the lower control arm mounts with the additional bracing upgrade. Also on the front mount. Side wings had a lot of stiffening, as well as this little piece here. Ended up re-welding around the upper spring perch. Both sides were cracked. Now it's fun part's done. What we got to do now is to sand and paint. But then it'll be all pretty.